welcome to today's edition of the Grand Sports Center on Grand Sport Extra. Once again, I want to apologize today for coming way behind schedule. We're actually having some technical issues that we're trying to put right, and we know that once everything is dusted and already sorted out and dusted, we'll be having the very best of picture quality from our channel whenever you tune in. So once again, sorry for coming a bit late, but then we have a lot for you, and we'll try to make up for it by serving you a very bumper and interesting package. Just stay with us. We've on the lineup for today, we shall be taking a look at the life and times of departed football star and football icon Diego Armando Maradona, who passed on yesterday in Buenos Aires in Argentina. And also we shall be taking a look at the new information in light of the fact that the Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, had a meeting with the hierarchy of the Nigerian Football Federation on Tuesday, and part of the recommendations is that there should be some tinkering with the technical department of the Super Eagles in terms of holding the technical advisor Ganatro to higher standards as stipulated in his contract. Then, as a result, the NFF is already making a move to beef up the technical career of the Super Eagles by injecting some new and capable hands. We understand that they are looking in the direction of Emmanuel Amonike, former Golden Eaglet coach that won the World Cup in 2015 with the Golden Eaglet, and former coach of the Tanzanian national team. Highly experienced coach and highly experienced ex-international. Also, former assistant coach of the Super Eagles, Sadisu Yusuf, is also in the frame. We shall be talking about this. UEFA Champions League matches were played yesterday. We shall be taking a look at the matches and doing a review of the matches that were played last night. In athletics, the AFN, talking about the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, is assuring Nigerians that the Nigerian contingent athletes to the Olympics will not be banned from competing in the Olympics next year when it holds. But there's been news making the round that Nigeria, because of drug-related issues, not having a very standard quality doping program, anti-doping program, Nigeria has been listed among those countries whose athletes may not be allowed to compete. But then the FN has come to assure Nigerians that nothing of such will happen, as a lot of moves have been made to address the situation raised by the IAAF. Also, talking about athletics, in Britain, they now have a new head coach for UK athletics, talking about the chief coach of the athletics team of the British athletics contingent. And for the first time, they have a black man in charge. His name is Christian Malcolm. We shall be talking about this development. In boxing, Anthony Joshua and Kubra Pulev are set to do battle in London on the 12th of December. That match and date has been confirmed. So we shall be talking about this. Plus, time permitting, we'll also talk about the Super Eagles Watch, where we'll get to look at the performance of Nigerian Super Eagles players who are doing very well out there for their clubs in Europe on Super Eagles Watch, and also today in sports history, where we serve you some of the important events that have happened on this day, 26th of November, over the years. These and more we have for you on the program, so stay back and enjoy your time with us. I am Donald Agbabobo. I'm joined as usual by Austin Harris. Break, and when we return, we'll go straight into the welcome back to the Grand Sports Center. Straight to the worldwide of football superstar, football icon yesterday, and the football world has been thrown into mourning, and it's been a very sad event, as football has lost one of his best sons, regarded as arguably one of the best players to have ever played the game. Depending on the side of the divide you belong to, there are many out there who feel that Maradona is the greatest ever. No argument about it. There was a poll done by FIFA a few years ago to determine who is the greatest between Maradona and Pele. Maradona won it actually outrightly. It was voted in by football fans across the world, but FIFA had to change the rules of the voting to accommodate both of them, and ended up giving the award to both Pele and Maradona. That tells you how popular Maradona is. Outside the football pitch, he may not have had the best in terms of what he was engaged to, what he was engaged in. But I must tell you that that does not in any way remove the fact that he was a very, very, very good footballer, one of the best the world has ever seen. So, Austin Arume, how did this news come to you as a football analyst, a football fan, and somebody that has always looked up to Maradona as one of the best ever?
Yeah, I think I'm a fan of Maradona. Over time, I think I've made my stand known, to people who care to listen. That to me, Maradona is, the greatest that has ever played the game. That's my opinion. Though, it's a shock one. I don't know how to even react to this at this point in time. Considering it's just 60 years. At 60, I think you still have, you're still young considerably, a lot of things to achieve in life. I believe a lot of people are actually looking at him, as a kind of, I don't know how to put it, mentor, or they are looking up to him. He's still that
he has inspired so many players.
Yeah, he has inspired a lot of people. So at this point in time, I believe is a very, very huge loss for the world of football at large.
Yes, these days we'll talk about the likes of Messi, the likes of Ronaldo, because the world has become a global village. We have the opportunity of seeing Messi and Ronaldo perform, and we have more records of their performances. But time of Maradona, he didn't enjoy this kind of situation. But then, even then, you just can't take away the fact that his achievement is phenomenal. He scored a total of 259 goals in 491 matches, which means an average of more than 1 goal per match. That's what he scored. And you could understand why 491 matches, because the number of matches played, you can't compare it with now. Now we have more European matches. Then European Cup was just a knockout. Now we have series of league. It goes through a round robin every year. So that's why the Messis and the Ronaldos can play up to 600 matches and thereabout, and up until scoring more goals. But for Maradona's record, it shows that he scored an average of more than 1 goal per match, which is phenomenal. The national team, he scored about 34 goals in 91 matches, and he made his debut at the age of 16 years on 120 days for Argentina. Just mere 5 feet 5 inches. He never had the attribute of a footballer, but then when you see him play, you wonder where it didn't come from. Blessing Bassi, we are mourning Diego Armando Maradona.
Well, it came as a shock to me. Honestly, he was comparing to the likes of he's at the same time, very popular, especially in 1986. When
About 1986, we can't talk about the life of Maradona. That was where actually showed the world that he is actually match against England, the final match. One and the other one with a very from halfway down and ran with it. England manager for Robson would not air but applaud it. And this is his words. Let's go. But the second one was a bloody miracle. That was the one. you have to say that it's magnificent. There's no doubt about that goal. That was just pure football genius. That was a BBC commentator by Davis. Even if it was against England, and we know how conservative the English press is, but this was a person playing against England, scoring such a goal and receiving such high praise. What does that tell you about that feat, that goal by Maradona? Is it
like one that at the time team we actually considered Africa and that by I don't know, maybe it's
scoop from the neck.
Yeah, by this of the neck. And he was in charge of that even an opponent, even a player that played to that part, he said that a lot of people compare Pele and Maradona and all that. That he doesn't compare Pele to Maradona. That's a teammate of Pele. He said when you consider the kind of players, Maradona played at Napoli, at the time, you consider the kind of players Pele was playing with at Santos and even in the Brazilian national team, that you cannot compare the Maradona achieved this feat.
It was practically carrying those
things.
He was
carrying everything on his back. So I think the only thing that we say, dented his his reputation is because the issue of
even of course you can't do that out of Maradona's life. But we don't want to dwell on that now because we just know that let's have the language of the good times. For me, still talking about this England match. That may that was what happened. It was a match built UK, Britain had to toss all over the Falkland Islands, just close to Argentina, but then Britain prevailed after some few days of fighting. Said over 900 people died in that conflict. But then the wounds of that had not healed when they met 4 years later in Argentina. And so you could imagine, but at the end of the day, despite the controversial first goal, they just could not help but praise Maradona. And one other quote from that match was from John Barnes. John Barnes came in as a late substitute in that match, and he also did very well when he took on the entire Argentina defense. Then they were 2 goals down to cross for Gary Lineker to score, to pull one back, 2-1. But for a late clearance from the goal line by Olaticochea, Lineker would have made it 2-2 because there was another opportunity. Lineker had the ball, headed the ball, it was going to the Olaticochea, the left fullback of Argentina, cleared off the line. So after the match, John Barnes was asked if that goal had gone in, it became 2-2. Say it was obvious that England would have gone on to win the match because they were having the momentum at that time. So John Barnes said, no. If we had scored 2-2, I'm sure that Maradona would have gone up the pitch to score, make it 3-2 because it was just unplayable. That could tell you how good Maradona was. John Barnes said if it was 2-2, Maradona would have gone to make it 3-2 for Argentina because that was how unplayable it was at that time. Listen, how are we going to miss this player? One can actually put a mark on how much we're missing, but
actually put a 3 days so many people, so many Argentina don't have any football.
You can't say don't have a football star right now. Messi is but then I understand what you're saying. The impact of Maradona is more than because you can see it's not great footballers have passed on, but they have played for their country. They have passed on. burial. How much important understand what you say or where you're coming from in that part. So, well, in as much as he was 60 years old, he had his relationship with Nigeria. He also had in 94 squad, the biggest after that match was tested World Cup. And of course, Maradona's relationship with Nigeria because the way Maradona is. I believe talk about how kind of love during the 2018 World Cup. Yeah, 2018. You know, the man was pictures, dancing. Yeah, he had a picture with
so I think all that the game. He's a legend in the game. So, back to more, that 2018 World Cup what you think about Nigeria.
As we continue to monitor
I feel like there'll be a lot of
that's what Pelé conduce message said he looked forward to playing football with this guy. So the football has started already. Well, we're trying to find something to actually change. Maradona will always be there. It's a factor in football at any point in time. Both as a player, off it, he was always fighting, championing the rights of players. He had brushes with the authority, both the law and football authorities. He was not too much in the good books of FIFA, at least the former FIFA headed by Sepp Blatter, because he was very outspoken. But then that's the man Maradona. If you take that away from him, you won't have Maradona. Maradona is about a total package, the skills on the pitch of play, his outspokenness, and his forthrightness. We'll miss him. We pray that God grants him eternal rest. I know that subsequent edition of the program will continue to talk about Maradona. He's somebody that there's so much to talk about. You cannot exhaust all you have to say about Maradona. Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we go into other issues. Welcome back to the Grand Sports Center. And moving on, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, is making move, we understand, to beef up the technical crew of the Super Eagles to the injection of more capable ends. They are looking in the direction of Madina Munike and Salisu Yusuf to add to Ganatra's technical team that already has a Joseph Yobo in the team. So more ex-internationals coming in, but with a difference this time around. These are experienced coaches. Madam Monica has paid his dues as a player, former African Footballer of the Year. and as a coach too. Chile, and presently, and was also part of the FIFA technical study team for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. That shows you how highly is regarded in football circles globally. Then the other candidate is Salisu Yusuf, was former assistant coach of the Super Eagles under Benetra incidentally, but for some unforeseen incident that happened along the line, he was suspended, and after his return from suspension, his contract was not renewed. But he's presently with a Regional International of Enugu. These are play coaches, and is this the way to go? All the talk about Ra not doing well, is this the way to ensure that things become better with the Super Eagles?
Yeah, I think instead of throwing blame, those people who you know are how Emmanuel Amunike if you ask me, I think this is the right way to go. I believe that experience is not just talking about local football and even Nigerian football as well. So when you talk about the experience, you talk about Salisu Yusuf, he has been there for a very long time. You talk about Emmanuel Amunike, that on that certificate. So I believe if Raw with this can bring out the work together and come on to something, I believe Nigeria will do very, very well in the other
Emmanuel
matches.
Amunike is most of them are now part of the Super Eagles. Be a factor if that
if you ask me, but so many people in that capable hands, are there to advise. If
that's another issue, and we need to get it right too, because that's from anybody. He's also has his own vision, because I understand that in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup that they won in 2015, the FIFA technical report of that competition was that Amunike was a different kind of coach. That the Nigerian team played in the match they played against Brazil. I think they beat Brazil 3-0. That they played with 4 different patterns in one half. In the first half alone, the technical report of that competition shows that the match against Brazil, Nigerian team played with 4 different patterns. They started with one pattern, at some point they shifted to another pattern. That tells you that Amunike is a man that knows his sort. That was why he rejected the post of technical director offered to him, where the position Aguavoin is occupying now, because he could not agree on financial terms, because he knows what he wants, and anything short of what he wants, he would not go. I wonder how we can work with Ra for the NFA to make it happen and make it work. I think it would be very, very good if they can get it right. But how they can achieve it beats my imagination. I just hope they get it right, because Nigeria needs somebody like Amunike to come in some capacity to have his own input into the running of the Super Eagles, because we need the best hands at this point in time. Still moving forward on the program without taking any break, we shall talk about the UEFA Champions League, because we don't have much time on our side. Matches of the UEFA Champions League were played yesterday with some very interesting results. No other place than Anfield, where people were surprised that Atlanta beat Liverpool by 2-0. Liverpool over the weekend whitewashed Leicester by 3-0. Not that they just won by 3-0, they outplayed Leicester. Leicester were topping the Premier League table, and before that match, they had won 5 away matches, and it was like Leicester was finally going to be the team that will stop the amazing run of Liverpool in the league. But the way Liverpool dispatched them on Sunday left many people wondering who can stop Liverpool. But yesterday, Atlanta came to Anfield and they got the better of the Reds. What could have happened at Anfield yesterday?
I think it started from the lineup. Robertson.
Really experimentation or trying to give these players a rest.
I think he's trying to give them a rest.
When it's experimentation, it's see these players are somebody to go.
Yeah, so I think that was what he was actually trying to do. Well, I call it experimentation because of the fact that he had to play a certain Prince Williams and in one match when you have defensive crisis. So that was why I called it experimentation. But then boils down to the fact that that played over the weekend. But then the team that played yesterday, I believe firepower and everything, I believe winning against Napoli should be a problem for them to football. Anything can happen.
Yes, indeed, and Manchester City took a place in the knockout stage with 1-0 to Olympiacos. Of the defending champion Bayern Munich won 3-1 at Atletico and could also book a place in the second round over this knockout stage. Real Madrid went to beat Inter Milan by 2 goals to 0, just as Porto did the same in Marseille. So the way the Champions League is going at the moment, Bayern Munich, defending champions, they are looking good again. Are they as good as
a big club? We expect that. Especially in Champions League like this. So obviously expect more from them.
Nigerians working in action for their club. Saidi Sanusi scored FC Porto in the match against Marseille from his left back position, and Grande was in action for FC Milan. Well, these Super Eagles players beginning to do well again for their clubs after the international break. I mean, Saidi Sanusi just transferred from Santa Clara to Porto this season, replaced Alex Telles, who was transferred to Manchester United. You could say fine. Very big shoe to fill. But the way Sanusi is going, I'm sure Porto management are already clapping for themselves for taking a gamble.
Yeah, I believe so. Even when I watched him play against the national team, I was actually impressed with performance in that game, how he was making that run up front and coming back to the defense. So I feel one thing that is lacking is that final touch, that final moment, and I believe scoring yesterday will give him that confidence moving forward. So under the right tutelage, I believe Grande will be a great number.
Other matches, Atletico Madrid drew 0-0 with Lokomotiv Moscow, and Ajax beat FC Milan by 3 goals to 1. Borussia Mönchengladbach thrashed Shakhtar Donetsk by 4 goals to 0, while Manchester City beat Olympiacos. Those are the results from the UEFA Champions League. You can see the graphics on the screen. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll talk some athletics. Welcome back to the Grand Sports Center. And news has been making the round about the possibility of Nigerian athletes being banned from participating at the Olympic Games comes up next year in Tokyo over the fact that Nigeria was listed in Category A by the IAAF as one of the nations with the highest doping risks to the sport. It said it's part of the rule of the World Athletics Anti-Doping Rule, which says that countries are classified as into categories A, B, and C, depending on the level of doping risk they present to the sport. And that has to do with how much measures they are taking to prevent doping by sports. But the AFN has said that while that's actually categorization of Nigeria is true, but it was done way back in March. And since then, Nigerian Athletics Federation have, alongside the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, have made moves to address the situation. And that was because before then, the AFN did not have an anti-doping department. But since then, they now have it, and they have already appointed the director or head of the anti-doping department in the person of Professor Ken Anugweje, the head of the committee to head the anti-doping department. So with that in place, Nigeria is no longer on that list of the list of countries with the highest doping risks to the sport. So the fear of Nigerian athletes being banned from participating at the Olympic Games is no longer there. That's coming from Rotimi George, the president, Olamide George, the president of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. How reassuring is this, Arome?
I don't think I'm actually, it's a Nigerian thing, but I don't think I'm actually convinced by just words. I believe it's not just saying it. I believe it should be about the action. It's not about appointing somebody to be in charge of a particular department, but then what have you done? What steps have you taken? I think that's what we should be talking about right now.
Instead of already set up the doping unit, which was not existing before.
Yeah.
So we set up an anti-doping unit. It means that steps have been made to address it.
Yeah.
Well, basically, also by way of enlightenment, the fact that we were listed in Category A doesn't mean that the country was actually banned.
Yeah.
It has to do with athletes who were not actually being tested regularly.
Yeah.
But we understand that some of our top level athletes, like the kind of the S.A. Boomers of this world,
Yeah.
are already competing internationally. They have to the Olympic Games. They're already international. They have been tested. So even if any ban takes place, it will not affect this athletes. That's what the AFN is saying. So with the way things are now, we should go to sleep and not worry about
At least to clear the air. But at the same time, at home without even having so I'm glad that there will be this opportunity to participate in
Still talking athletics. This time around in the UK, we understand that the United Kingdom has appointed a new athletics coach, and his name is Christian Malcolm. He is now in charge of British athletics, which means he will be the head coach of the athletics team to the Olympic Games. Christian Malcolm is a black man. It's the first time that a black person has been appointed to this position. Christian Malcolm actually is a former World, European, and Commonwealth Games medalist. He competed at 4 Olympics, and is a former great athlete. So it's not about the color of his skin, but then his capabilities as a coach.
I think that is what has worked for them, for the British Olympic teams. I think it's about what works, not about the color of your skin. It's about what you know, not the color of your skin. I think this is what has been working for them, and they know the capability of Maicon, and that's why they placed him there. And I believe he'll do something while in that office. I believe he can achieve greatness in that
yes,
capacity.
Since retiring from the sports in 2014, we know that he has had various coaching roles. He was successful with the British relay squad. He was a coach of the British relay squad. That was very successful. He also worked with the UK Paralympic team and the disability teams of Wales. He has also previously been head of performance at Australia Athletics, and played a significant role in and so many other important positions himself. So, like we said earlier, he's very, very capable to hold this position.
Yes, Malcolm, he's a tough guy. Looks like a tough guy, and he looks very many things surrounding what he has done so far. I'm glad he's a black man. We are beginning to consider the fact that black men and other racial genders coming together and added to especially top positions when it comes to sports in general.
And it was actually described by the UK chief executive, talk about the UK Athletic chief executive, who was of course as the Pep Guardiola. The benchmark for deliberating coaches. Well, that it's not Pep Guardiola. He's just coming there to do his thing. Wish him the best of luck in his new job, and going forward we'll take a short break, and when we'll come back, if we have more time, we'll talk about one or two other issues on the program. Welcome back. Well, time is not on our side on the program. We are gradually winding down. In boxing, Anthony Joshua will be up against Kubla Pulev. The fight has been confirmed to hold at the London O2 Arena on the 12th of December. It will be the first time Joshua will be fighting in the UK for 2 years. So he has not fought in the UK for 2 years now. So how good of an homecoming will this be for Joshua?
I believe, it's not, I don't say that coming home now is not going to have any influence on that, considering the fans will not be around to watch the game, to share him on and all that. But at this point in time, it's all about your determination and what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve any feat, going into this particular match, I think he has to go into it with the whole of his heart, and with that mind that he has somebody he has an opponent to beat, because it seems like Pulev doesn't want to go away. He doesn't want to go away because he actually has his sight on the likes of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder at this point in time. But then Pulev is a mandatory challenger, so I think Pulev at this point in time is coming with a point to prove that he is still in the game.
Yes, indeed. In 2017, this fight was actually supposed to hold in 2017, but Pulev sustained an injury and the fight had to be cancelled. So he has another chance. So how do you think Pulev will, the chances of Pulev in this fight, having the second chance?
Well, we'll have to watch and see how the game obviously ends at the end of the day, because I think Anthony Joshua would want to defend this title. At the same time, let's expect to see the very best from the both of them.
Yes, indeed. And as we wrap it up on the program, quickly about the players, we talked about one of the greatest moments of his life to have scored for FC Porto. I can imagine, you can say it again, for any player to score in the Champions League and also scoring and being a defender for that matter. So it just goes to tell you how happy the young man is. And Leicester coach Brendan Rodgers says Wilfred Ndidi is progressing very well, which is good news for Nigeria and good news for the club as well, because we saw the absence of Wilfred Ndidi in Super Eagles last match against Senegal. So any news that is coming back to full fitness will definitely be welcomed by Nigerians. They play in the Europa League tonight in Ukraine against Zoria. So they are hoping that he may be able to feature at some point in the match. And also, this one comes from France, where we understand that Henry Yekuru is said to maybe going on loan to Monaco, leaving Monaco on loan in January. He started the season with Monaco, playing some few matches, but all of a sudden, he was no longer part of the team. He said he's no longer in the good books of the coach. Whatever that means, we don't know, but report have it that he has his eyes set on leaving Monaco, probably on loan again in January when the transfer window is open, and his likely destination this time around is Turkey and Germany, as clubs in those countries are said to be after his services. And finally, Aaron Samuel, we can remember him the days of Stephen Keshi as coach of the Super Eagles. He was very much part of the fixture. At some point, he was playing for CSK Moscow of Russia alongside Ahmed Musa. At some point, he was one of the top strikers in Super Eagles team at that time. He has released an album and featured popular singer Peruzzi in it. So, talking about having talent for different things, not just being a footballer, but then he is also a singer. So, we wish him well, but we hope that his football will continue to speak for him. So that's just a roundup of a Super Eagles watch for today. And as we wrap up the program, we shall take our closing formalities. Then we'll leave you with today in sports history. So from us here, we want to say thank you for being part of the program, and we'll be back same time, same station tomorrow. Another interesting edition, which I'm looking forward as usual to having you join us once again. So I'm going to speak on behalf of all of us, not taking the closing remarks from Austin and Blessing as I usually do, because time is not enough time. So thank you for watching.